Guys, my name is Coach Hernandez. I coach cross country at Monroe and track and field. I started coaching officially. I moved over here from Holmes Middle School in 2000 in July. We had 4 boys and 2 girls on the entire team, and I had to recruit from the PE classes. And it was a very hot summer, and it was very difficult to recruit kids. But little by little, I got kids to come out, and we ended up with about 15 boys total and about barely 9 girls, enough barely to have a varsity team. Our boys actually, surprisingly, because I put it in their head that they were going to go to state. You need 7 good, solid guys. We did have 3 very good boys that were returning from the previous year. And at the end of the season, we actually got second in the city in 2000 with a team that only had 4 boys at the beginning. So I ran in high school, and I wanted to continue running. And it was my coach in high school that told me, you know what, I get paid to run with you guys, but you'd have to go to college and get a degree in kinesiology. And I didn't know what that was, but kinesiology is the study of human movement. And I learned about Cal State Northridge because my sister was going there at the time, and I knew they had a very good team. That my senior year in high school, that year Cal State Northridge was second in the country in Division II. So that year that I started at Cal State Northridge, my freshman year, they actually moved up to Division I. So the year I ran, my freshman year at Cal State Northridge, they moved to Division I, and there was 20 guys that tried out for the team, and because we were Division I, there was regulations. They could only carry 10 on the roster. So we had a workout on Saturday morning, one of the hardest workouts I ever ran in my life. And I was the 10th man. I barely made it. And, so that was my first year. And unfortunately, right before the first race, I got hit by a car, and I was out for a while. And I was never the same after that. So I've been coaching. I started unofficially. I would help some kids out from my old high school, and when I was working at Holmes Middle School in 1993, I actually started a running program. And I didn't know much about the Valley because I wasn't from here, because I was running for Cal State Northridge at the time. So in 1993, I started a running program in Holmes Middle School, and the kids that were advancing from 8th grade to 9th grade, I actually told them, you know what, come to Monroe. So I started bringing a lot of kids out here from the middle school for my running program. And then in 1994, I started going to, 95 actually, I started going to see them race at Pierce College, and that's where I got to know Coach Balzeret. And I started helping him out. He had asked me to help him out. And in the year 2000, a PE position opened up here. I started teaching PE in 1997 at Holmes. So in the year 2000, I transferred over, and I started coaching here, and I've been coaching at Monroe since 2000. So now what we have in 2022, I've had a lot of success. I've won 9 city titles, varsity, girls varsity, boys Frost South, boys JV, and we have a team that we had to redevelop from the ground up. All the boys we had last year graduated, so this team now, we have a few kids that didn't return, so we have to develop a team from the ground up. And we're starting off ranked 19th on the boys, 19th in the city. That's the lowest rank we've ever had in the history of Monroe. And girls varsity, they're ranked about 16th, and that's again one of the lowest ranks we've ever had. But my goal is to motivate the kids, get many kids as we can to enter cross country with the restrictions that we have, and motivate them and get them, to buy into the program and our strategies, and hopefully, finish above those expectations that we had coming in as a team we're building up from the ground up. Okay, so, being here those many years, I remember all the kids, like 99% of them. And all the greats I've ever had. And, I can go on forever, but my first year, when I was volunteering in 1998, I had put it in their heads, we got to qualify to the state, because we got to qualify to the state. You guys got to run on the weekends. You guys got to do this, you got to do this. You got to learn to run and feel pain. we had this kid named Hernandez Ortiz that he ran 15:19 at Pierce College when he was a junior, when he was his junior year. And and then I had in 1999. I had a group of runners: Liam Buchanan, Paramjit Singh, Omar Ortega. Those kids had run for me at the middle school, and I had put it in their head. You guys go to Monroe, you run together, you could be good. We were second in city in 1999. They went to the state meet for the first time, and then in 2000, Paramjit Singh, he was only a sophomore. He moved, and we were stuck with only runners like it was Juan Guzman, Hernandez Ortiz, and there was one more. It was just them three. Them two that were returning. So, we had to create a whole new team again because we started in 2000 with four boys. And I started recruiting from PE. And one of the greatest runners that ever came through Monroe started running in 2000. His name was Manuel Ruiz. And from the get-go, he wanted to be the best. So he took no prisoners. He trained hard every day. Every day he pushed it to the max. We had to tell him to slow down. He ran 15:36 his first year as a sophomore. And that's actually our sophomore record, 15:36. And then we were second in city again in 2000. So in 2001, we were ranked actually for the first time to win city because we had runners like Daniel Guido, Juan Guzman was a senior. We had potential 3 boys to run under 15:30 at Pierce College. And Daniel Guido, who was our second man, he ended up getting hurt by not listening to coach. Running when he wasn't supposed to on the asphalt. And the guy that Juan Guzman was our third man. So Manuel Ruiz wins city in 15:22. Juan Guzman gets second in 15:27. Daniel Guido was faster, and he was hurt. So we would have had 3 guys under 15:30. But, that hurt us, and we ended up getting second in city again, And in 2001, we get this 2002, we get this amazing freshman boy that I was actually coaching in 1990 when I was at Holmes Middle School, Gabriel Guzman. And then we also get Coach Ismael Samano, who was actually coaching with us here now as freshmen. And we had a good group of freshman boys. And I had told them, if you guys train and do this, if you follow everything I tell you, maybe by your junior year you could win city. But in 2002 we got second again. And so anyways, we ended up winning the city title in 2005. Like I told Coach Ismael Samano, that's over here coaching right now, Gabriel Guzman, Ulver Lopez. We had some sophomores in that group. Zuniga was one of them, and Figueroa, he was a freshman, and can't think of one more that moved away. Travis Lawton, that was a sophomore. We won city in 2005, and it's all about believing in yourself. Over the last 22 years, I've won 9 city titles, and it was very hard to get. I've been talking about the boys, but to get the girls in the community like that we coach in here, it was not easy to get the girls to come out and buy into it because a lot of them I need to go home, I need to cook for my parents, I need to take care of my siblings, I need to go wash. Unfortunately, with our culture, the Latino culture, a lot of the girls have to be home and doing the household chores, and the boys just go play soccer. So it was not easy to get the girls to buy into the program, but in 2002, our girls hadn't made city finals, and it was just a matter of telling the girl, getting the girls to believe in themselves, and believe in something and buy into the program. We actually made it to the city finals for the first time in 2000. It was 2002, 2003. We made it to the city finals for the first time, and it was a matter of because they needed to believe in themselves, believe in something, and be consistent, and talking to the parents and talking about the importance of extracurricular activities to help them go to college. So that was the first time we actually won the league as well. And that was the first time Coach Balzaret had told me, he was my mentor during that time, that he hadn't had that many girls run under 22 minutes at Pierce College. And from there our girls program just grew, and boys as well. And we went city in 2005. In 2006, I lost 2 boys because they had to move. We used to lose kids to because the transiency rate at Monroe is about 47%. That means 1 out of 2 kids move out of the area and don't end up graduating. So, so go to 2006. So our boys team, for the first time, didn't qualify to city. And this is a team that the year before won the city title. And, we didn't qualify. But our girls team, like I said, since 2002, they were getting stronger. And in 2006, our girls get second in city, and go to the state meet. And we had like 3 girls in the under 20 minutes and so forth, So, and it was always a struggle to get the girls to come to practice, because back then, we have time off of school. And when you have time off, it doesn't mean you go off on vacation. We have to prepare still, So we had to rebuild the program back in 2006 of the boys. So I got in a lot of freshmen from Sepulveda Middle School, and in 2007, our boys with a bunch of freshmen were 4th in city with a bunch of freshmen, And that group of boys, in 2008 and 2009, we won city back to back. And how did we win city? Having a strong mind and believing in themselves and being very confident. That's what you have to do. Our girls team, they were 3rd in city in 2008. We had a very good, strong girls team. We had a overall very good program, boys and girls put together. And we were meeting and running in trails on the weekends, and they were buying into the program, doing the workouts correctly. We had this runner, Jorge Hernandez, that really, he was the key, the nucleus of the team, because he led our boys. And when you have a good team, you have to have a good leader. That leader has to lead the workouts, has to lead the races. And the kids follow, just like sheep. They follow. If you have a slower, weaker leader, the kids are not going to want to pass them, So the kids have to buy into, pushing each other and having rivalries within the team, because that makes the team good. Having a guy, 2 guys trying to be the best runner, and then having 3 boys staying in the top 5, and then having 4 boys trying to stay in the top 7, because you need top 7 to have varsity. But one of the greatest moments was in 2009. We were defending city champs, and we were actually ranked 2nd coming in 2009, because in 2009 Birmingham High School had 2 transfer kids that came from out of the area. One kid was a 927 2-miler, the other one was a 937 2-miler, and they were fast, and on paper they were a lot faster than we were. Well, throughout the season they beat us. So I called a meeting in the gym at lunchtime with my top 7 boys that year. And, I had told them, when we called the meeting, they knew what we were going to be talking about. And before I even started talking, the captain, Olmos, he said, Stephen Olmos, he said, Coach, don't worry, we got this. Tell us what we need to do to win. And I said, well, for one, you got to be here every day. Run the workouts the way I tell you, meeting certain benchmarks. But one thing I told them, I said, our 7th man needs to beat Birmingham's 4th man. That's the only way we're going to win, because our number 1 runner was not going to beat their first 2 guys. So it got even better than that. Alumni from the 70s, they got involved. And Richard Nance, he calls me and he's like, I hear you guys won city, are you guys going to win it again in 2009? He goes, well, I said, we are 2nd, but we're going to try and win it, take it from Birmingham. And he said, Richard Nance from the who's our school record holder in the mile from 1973, he said, well, why don't we give them a little motivation? Why don't we give them a shirt? And we'll say if they win city, we'll take them out to lunch after the city finals. And he lives in Utah. So he actually called all the team from 1973 that won city. See, Monroe had won city in 1973, and then we didn't win city until 2005 on the boys. And then we won city again in 2008. So in 2009, big question mark. So they made these awesome shirts that said the 1973 team with all the names, the 2005 team with all the names, the 2008 team with all the names, and then it had 2009 question mark. And they actually also made city championship shirts in case we won city, so, and then the day of city finals, all year we couldn't beat Birmingham. We were getting closer, but we couldn't beat them. So we had to put together our best races of our top 7 guys all in one day, city finals, 2009. And we even had, talk about pressure, cheerleaders, mascot from Monroe Vikings, administrators, teachers, alumni from the 70s and 80s. They went to witness this, see what was going to happen. Everybody was just anticipating. And this whole time, our top 7 boys, you think they were nervous? No, they were confident. I was nervous, but I didn't show it. But they were confident that they were going to do this. But they just looked to me for leadership and what we were going to do. And I told them what they needed to do. And the only advice I told them that morning is get out hard, and if you get boxed in, just stay relaxed and wait for an opening. And eventually, when there's an opening and the pack starts thinning out, you make your move and make it good and keep going. And then, because it's a 3-mile race, you don't win the city in the first 800 meters. You win in the last mile, the last 2 miles, depending on what you do. So, and that's exactly what happened. They went out, we get boxed in, and we're stuck like in the middle of the pack. And throughout the race, all of a sudden there's an opening, and all 7 boys just start moving forward, creeping up forward. The last 800 meters of that 3-mile race, we were still losing. And we ended up placing our top 7 guys in the first 18 spots, and we had our 7 guys under 16:04. And to this day, that team from 2009 has the school record of the team time from Pierce College, and the second best team time overall in the whole city section in the history of cross country. The first one is the 1977 team from Belmont High School, which were very fast. So we did really well, and our girls team finished 3rd. They finished 3rd. We were city champs. They were 3rd. We all had medals because the top 7, and if you come in the top 5 as a team, you get a medal. And then 2010, again, we just continued the tradition, and our team just got bigger and bigger, up until, in 2019 was the first year that our girls win the city title. Our girls win the city title for the first time, Division 2. And then we won the city title again last year, varsity. In 2008, we won the Frost-Off city title on the boys, the JV city title on the boys, and the varsity city title on the boys. And then in 2014, 2015, we won the JV titles on the boys back to back. And I think and then we won another Frost-Off city title, like in 2013, I believe. So a total of 9. And last year we won the boys Division 2 city title. We would have won boys and girls combined in 2020, but that was the year COVID hit, and we had the best ranked team all over city. But so what are all the best runners? We had a girl, Alexandra Fortuna, mentality of a fighter, of a warrior. The top girls I've ever coached, like Stephanie Alarcon, Inez Guido, Erika Beltran, and the name, and it goes on and on. Even my daughters that came and ran here. Mentality of a fighter. You have to have that. You have to have the confidence. You have to be a warrior. You have to be coachable. And same thing with the boys. The best boys I've ever coached have all had the same traits. You have to have that, and of course it takes somebody to produce the workouts that's going to help a team run their fastest time when it matters, city finals. And that's my passion. Running is my passion. I'm always looking at stats, seeing what we can do here, what we can do there. I'm always, looking for ideas to improve as a coach, to get my kids to do well, But the bottom line, for boys and girls that run cross country, you have to be coachable. You have to be confident. You have to be aggressive. You have to know and be able to take pain and know that it's okay and push yourself, and be determined and be consistent, never missing workouts, and dedicated. That's what you need to be successful. And that's what I try and instill and teach all these kids, all these years that I've been doing this. Yeah, and in 2017, 18, we had a group of young girls that were, 2016 actually, 2015, what am I saying? Because one qualified to the state meet, Delmy, and she broke, she ran under 20, she ran like 1930 as a sophomore. And then we had Natalie Ceja, her senior year, she qualified. That was like in 2016, I think, or 2017. And she ran in the low 19s, So we've had a few, Evelyn de la Luz. She was an amazing runner because she came in as a freshman and she was not very fast. She ran like 24 minutes. And then her sophomore year, she ran like low 21s. And then this was back in, what year was this? 2009, 2010. And she ended up running, her senior year was her breakout year, and ran in the low 19s, but her best was in track when she ran under 12 in the 2 mile. But even better, she went on to college. And her best thing ever was running the 10,000 and having the second best time in the country for junior colleges. She ran 36 minutes for the 10K. And for her, that was awesome because she was somebody that didn't have a lot of talent, but she worked very hard. That, went to Trade Tech, and her time in the 10,000 meters, which is 25 laps on the track, was 36 minutes, second best time in the country. And, she got various scholarships from there to go to a university. And, and here's a girl who lived the American dream, came here with speaking no English, like Manuel Ruiz in 2001 and 2000, and went on to college and got a scholarship because of running. Just like Manuel Ruiz in 2003 when he graduated high school. He ended up being one of the top runners in the country with his aggressiveness and coming here to the country speaking no English and learning it and graduating and going to college and graduating from the university. That was the ultimate dream for some of these kids that were able to do that. We get paid for two coaches, and we had a very I was helping coach Balzaret in the early 2000s, and then he retired in 2007, and then I took over, and I had an awesome coach that was working with me, Coach Adam Harris. Very enthusiastic, worked really well with the kids. And, he worked with me up until about 2018. And then, he pursued other endeavors after that. But he was amazing. And and then we had Coach Jose Jimenez, that was helping me for about a year or two in 2019. And then we had the pandemic 2020. But unfortunately with his schedule, it was not easy for him to get here. And, so... we were able to get Coach Ismael Samano, that was my alumni from 2005. And, it was perfect for him because he was working at Langdon Elementary and he could be here by 2:30, which is what the kids needed. They needed another coach to be able to be here every day. And then, so he started working with me and, he knows the system, he knows everything, our program, and fit in perfect. And Coach Samano is an amazing runner, he still trains and runs. He just recently ran a 2-hour 29 marathon. He's still really good. And then we got Coach Manny Tapia through the after-school program that we have here, KYDS. And that funds after-school programs through the government to be able to hire another coach, and we get extra funding from that as well to help buy equipment, like stopwatches, They got us blocks. So it works awesome to have 3 coaches, that are here with the kids. And that's what the kids need, coaches that are always here, coaches that are motivating the kids and are excited and have energy, and consistency to add extra things, like running at invitationals, going above and beyond, not just training through the school time, but after school, before school, when it's hot, on the weekends, running in trails, running at invitational races, to make ourselves better, because that's what it's about.